Hospital in Colchester has had a rather unusual patient this afternoon, a 2,500-year-old Egyptian mummy. In the past hour, a CT scan has taken detailed images of Lady Taharo, which it's hoped could answer a few more questions about her life. Victoria Webb reports.
She's been lovingly looked after for years, but there are many things that remain a mystery about Lady Taharo. It's believed she died of natural causes in her mid-20s, and although all mummies were buried with their heart in order to pass on to the afterlife, the team here in Colchester don't know if she still has any internal organs.
We think that she had a process done to her where they just filled her with oils and resins rather than drying her out in salt. And it's possible that because they didn't take such care that her organs are still inside.
This mummy is about to embark on an exciting journey. She's being moved from Colchester to the Ipswich Museum to be part of the new Egyptian gallery. But she's stopping off to have a CT scan first, which should help to tell us more about her.
Lady Taharo is actually bought as a souvenir by George Errington from Lexington in Colchester when he was on holiday in Egypt in 1856. He donated her to the museum in 1871.
And conservators are making new discoveries about her all the time. Stephanie White is examining a piece of scrap wood found on the bandages.
Perhaps this piece of wood flew into the bandages while the mummy was being bandaged. And it's really interesting because it's just a scrap piece of wood, but it has lots of tool marks on it. So it will shed light on the type of tools that the workspeople or the worksman used when he was making the sarcophagus.
As she leaves her former home at the museum in Colchester Castle, staff can't wait to see the images from the scan Lady Taharo is about to have.
And Victoria joins us from the Oaks Hospital in Colchester right now. So, did the scan reveal anything interesting?
It did. I will tell you all about that in a minute. But yeah, this is the CT scan that was used. It's been a very exciting couple of hours. This was a woman who was alive more than 2,500 years ago. The mummy is now actually on her way to Ipswich Museum. But to tell us a bit more is Matt Evans, the senior radiographer. Tell us, Matt, what did you find?
We've had an incredible amount of detail so far. The image count is approximately 10,000 at the moment. Key points that we've picked up in the head, you can see the contents of the brain have been removed. There's some linen packing at the back, and there's what appears to be almost finger-like bony structure in the back of the skull. It's about 7 centimetres long, so further analysis should determine what that is. Looking further down the body, you go into the heart. The heart has obviously been removed and put back in because there is an outline of the heart, but it's in a much lower position than it normally would be. But it's definitely sort of an appearance of a heart there.
And you can actually see the position she was in as well.
You can see the position she was in, hands down on the top of her legs. All the bone condition is superb throughout, as if a living specimen. It's just exactly what you'd expect to see. The only thing we can see with the bone, the jaw is slightly dislocated, but you can see the fingers right down to the toes and the outline throughout.
Fascinating stuff. Thank you very much. But all this information will now go into the Egyptian Gallery at the Ipswich Museum, where I'm sure our mummy will feel right at home.
Victoria, thank you very much. Interesting stuff. Amazing, isn't it, what they can see? Fantastic what they can do.
They don't get patients like that very often, though, do they?
No, no. Now, next tonight, a relative of one of the musicians on board the Titanic has written a cookbook in his memory. Yvonne Hume from Broughton in Norfolk is the great-niece of violinist John Hume, who it's claimed played on while the boat sank. Now, she's included recipes from first class as well as meals that the third class passengers would have eaten, and Kate Prout has been to meet her.
April the 10th, 1912. The Titanic set out on her maiden voyage from Southampton docks. 5 days later, the liner sank with the loss of more than 1,500 lives. Among the dead, John Law Hume, violinist with the band that famously played on while the boat sank, and great-uncle of Yvonne Hume.
I was actually writing a biography of my great-uncle, and I came across the menus from on board the ship, and I decided, well, being as it's my point of interest, why not write a cookery book? But I didn't just want it to be a Titanic cookery book. I wanted it to be a book that everybody could use.
Her house in the village of Boughton, near Downham Market, has been turned into a galley kitchen for the last 6 months, as she tried dozens of recipes.
And here's something I prepared earlier.
Talk us through what this amazing spread is all about.
Well, basically we have first, second and third. In third class you would have maybe rice soup, and for dessert, cabin biscuits. Here we have Irish stew with dumplings, so we're getting a little bit better now. And finally, we have the oysters.
Husband Roger acted as not only photographer, but also chief taster.
I had to try them actually more than once, because most of them had to be recooked, so we did tend to eat like kings. It was like sailing first class on the Titanic, really.
Well, I'm clearly a first-class kind of girl, so, so I'm definitely going to try the oysters here.
Oh, do.
Freshly cooked today.
Is that good?
The mystery and the legend of the great liner lives on. And I've had a great idea for my next dinner party. Kate Prout, Anglia News, Boughton in Norfolk.
Well, I think I'd have been in steerage, so what would I have got? Rice soup with cabin biscuits.
Sounds like the ones we get in the office, doesn't it?
No, our biscuits are quite nice in the office. Now, if you think of great British inventors, and James Dyson must be up there, the man who made millions by redesigning the humble vacuum cleaner.
But now, well, it looks like he's got a bit of a rival, a youngster from Cambridge, although he's more interested in the vacuuming part than the cleaning, as Stuart Leiths reports.
Mums everywhere will know getting a teenage boy to use a vacuum cleaner is nigh on impossible. But Hibiki Kono is a bit different. I doubt this is exactly what Hibiki's mum would have hoped for, though. The 13-year-old, who's a pupil at King's College School in Cambridge, has built a machine that allows him to climb walls using the suction power of 2 vacuum cleaners.
I was really excited to build it, but no one really believed me, so I just kind of got my own determination and started making the first prototype. And then when the first prototype worked, everyone kind of got the trust in me, and then it got me encouraged, and I finished it.
Hibiki built the machine as a design and technology project at school, using 2 1400-watt vacuums bought from a supermarket, which create enough suction in the 2 pads to hold him on the wall. The only drawback is the need for the machine to be plugged into the mains, so at the moment he doesn't climb too high in case there's a power cut.
I said no, not a hope of him being able to do it, and lo and behold, he, being the determined so-and-so that he is, came in one morning and said, look, this is the start of it, this is my first prototype. To which I started to get enthused, and then within a few weeks he was flying. Is that brilliant? Almost literally.
There are clearly a number of practical applications, for example painting a wall without the need for a ladder, feather dusting perhaps, or maybe even vacuuming those hard-to-reach places.
If you don't look down, it's fine. I don't really know, because since I built it, I always trust in it, so it's not really scary for me, but someone else it could be.
It took Hibiki 5 months to make his wall climbing machine, and to be honest, I don't know why he bothered. It's only taken me 5 minutes to get up here with this normal vacuum cleaner.
Stuart Leiths, Anglia News, Cambridge.
I think there was a little bit of trickery going on there.
Stuart taking on school children again. It's terrible, isn't it?
I think we can officially say it now. Phew, what a scorcher.
It's been very warm out there. Let's find out whether it's going to last, though. Here's Amanda. Hey, so another nice night. Perfect for those celebratory barbecues, I think.
And you can watch the football from the garden. So Ghana, Germany or Serbia.
Who do you fancy?
Ghana, I think. Good night.
Bye-bye.